Giving you a personal bond, and I expect you to keep testing. Good luck. Thank you. Gregory Lynn Sorrell, 23W831111A.
Back again, sir. And on a stupid
Your name-
charge.
Who's his lawyer? Are you his lawyer?
Yes, Judge.
I don't have a lawyer. I represent myself. I represent myself. I don't want a lawyer. Yeah, I represent myself. I don't want a lawyer.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, I have MIDC lawyers here. They're free of charge. Be happy. Be happy. I want to
No, I want to represent myself.
Be happy to give you a lawyer. Do you wish to waive your right to a lawyer?
Yeah.
You're charged with trespassing. And Detective, could I have your name?
Detective Ryan Barrett with the Woodhaven Police Department, sir.
Charge is that you were at 21700 West Road in Woodhaven, March 5 of 23 at 11:30 p.m. Trespassing. That is a misdemeanor. It is punishable by up to 500 fines, 90 days jail. Costs are all of those. Do you understand that?
Yes. Can I explain though?
No, not yet. You can't yet. Did you sign, read, and understand and advice of rights form here today?
Yes.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving. If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights, and there will not be a trial. Do you understand that?
It's going to be a trial then. Yeah. There's going to be a trial.
Listen, Mr. Sorrell, I'm not arguing with you, man. Come on. We've gone through this, you and me.
Hey,
You know,
I want to explain it. This will be over. I went to get my phones. I went to get my phones at the motel. A lady was letting me stay there.
Mr. Sorrell.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Court appointed almost cost me my guns and everything last time. I don't want no court appointed lawyer. Yeah.
Okay, so you waive your right to a lawyer.
Yep.
All right.
For a lawyer.
And you understand?
For now I do.
I'm sorry?
For now I do, but I want to have a, I want to have a trial definitely with this. Yeah.
Well, I know, but you want a lawyer?
Hey, where's your dad at? Oh yeah, your dad's passed away. I'm sorry. I needed to talk to him. Go ahead.
Did you, you're telling me you want a trial, but you want to waive your right to a lawyer. Do you want a lawyer going forward?
On this right here, no, but yes, I want a trial with a lawyer.
Okay, so you want me to appoint you a
trial with a lawyer? Yeah, I'm not pleading guilty.
You want me to appoint you a lawyer then, right?
And I'm not staying in jail till then, right? I don't have to stay until jail. That's all I want to know, right?
Listen, let's take one thing at a time.
Explain this, sir. I want you to just explain this and that's it. I don't have to stay in jail, but I want a trial, yeah. Okay.
Mr. Sorrell, you want a lawyer going forward, right? At the next hearing, you want a lawyer, right?
Yes, and I'll pick out mine, not yours, not no appointed, of course not. I'm getting into business, man. 6 precincts I'm suing into. I'm tired of this. I went back to get my stuff is all I did, my phones, and I demanded my stuff, and they wouldn't give me my stuff that was rightfully mine. I did not trespass. I wanted my goods. That's all I wanted. There you are. Well, you'd want your goods if they were there, right? And they didn't get them for me. So I'll win this case anyway.
There's a second charge of resist and obstruct, which is punishable by up to 500 fines, 90 days jail.
He slapped the coffee. I want to explain. He slapped the coffee out of my hand and then tackled me onto the grass. I didn't resist nothing. All right. I'm having a trial on that one too. I'm not pleading guilty. So there you go.
Mr. Sorrell.
I'm not pleading guilty to those. So.
I didn't say you should. I'm just telling you what the charges are.
Yeah, all right, go ahead. No,
I don't know what to do. Listen to me. Please stop.
Okay, go ahead.
Please. Thank you very much. I appreciate your courtesy. Listen,
well,
I'm entering a not guilty.
These cops are doing lately to me. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm about Jesus, man, and what they're doing. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't do anything wrong, man, and I don't. Go ahead. I'm listening now, sir. I made my point. I don't do anything wrong. I don't. I didn't do anything wrong. I went to get my stuff and a lady was letting me stay in the room. Go ahead. Now I'm listening, sir. I got my point out of what I wanted to do, which is my right. I see Baldy there. Hey man, what's up, guy? I like him. I like my detective friends here too. They're cool. The other cops. No.
Mr. Sorrell, I'm gonna try to get through this. I'm not gonna have you interrupt me. If you do this, I'm gonna have them hold you overnight and I'll do this in the morning. I'm done with this. You understand?
I won't interrupt. Go ahead.
Detective, I need your name again, please, and I need to tell me what allegedly occurred in this case.
Detective Ryan Barrett with the Woodhaven Police Department. On 3/5/23 at 21700 West Road, the Best Western, Mr. Sorrell was asked to leave and not return by staff. Approximately an hour later, he did return at 23:30 hours, at which point he was placed under arrest. During that arrest,
What did I return for?
it is alleged,
Sir,
it is alleged that he resisted officers during that arrest.
I gotta sit down on my neck.
Yes.
you got a warrant up, Mr. Sorrell. You can sit there if you want. You got 3 warrants out of Taylor for your arrest. You had a
They're not legible either. They're all a bunch of junk too. That's not even, I did nothing wrong again.
What do you want? What are you asking for bond wise?
I'll leave that at the court's discretion, Your Honor.
So for the record, I need to know, the defendant has 3 warrants. I also need to know that there was a competency exam performed.
They don't even want me. They don't even want me.
You're not to go near.
Quit being nice with this stuff.
Mr. Sorrell,
Yeah.
if you interrupt me one more time, I'm calling back there tomorrow, and I'm not releasing you today.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. You're not to go near 21700 West Road in Woodhaven. If I find out you're going back there and they come in and swear out a bond violation, you're going to be shocked how long you're sitting in jail because I'm going to set a really high bond. You cannot have any contact with employees of the Best Western. You cannot have any contact with prosecution witnesses. You cannot write, phone, see, text, email, or communicate with them in any way. You're not to leave the state without the consent of the court. You're not to violate any law. You must appear in court as directed. Also, I'll give you a personal bond, Mr. Sorrell. I really will do that for you. I don't think you deserve it, sir, but I'll give you a $2,500 personal bond. But I don't want to threaten you. I just want you to understand if you violate these conditions, I'm going to revoke your bond, set a high bond, and we will set this for trial or other disposition. In the meantime, I will give you the court date of March the 22nd at 9:30 in the morning. You're to stay away from there. That Best Western. Mr. Sorrell, remind me, sir, do you have a residence?
I don't need one. I'm an outdoorsman. I don't need no residence, even in this weather. I can live in the Arctic. I can live in the Arctic. There you are. I don't want a residence. All right.
That's the bond. You have to be I don't know where to send your notice at. Where should I send your notice at?
Hey, I'm getting a P.O. box. I have not interrupted you. I'm getting a P.O. box real soon here, but my mom, that address 472, that I'm not allowed to either. I'm not allowed anywhere because I won't say why.
Where do you want me to send your notice?
247, I just said it, 4727 Leisure Lane, Trenton, Michigan, 48183.
Don't raise your voice with me, Mr. Sorrell. I thought you said that you weren't
I
allowed to
didn't
go
raise
back
my
there.
voice. I'm just making my voice a little assertive, that's all.
Well, that's good to know. I don't know how you're gonna get the notice if you can't go back there. But I'll send it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
send it. I get
All right,
it.
that's where
I'll get it.
that's where we'll send it. And I wish you well. I will see you here on March the 22nd at 9:30. Lisa, send a notice over there so they can hand it to him before he leaves.
Okay.
Thank you very
March
much.
22nd, I won't forget. I have a
I'm sorry?
photogenic memory, March 22nd, I will not forget. I got a photogenic memory, March 22nd.
Send it over, Lisa. Have a good day, Mr. Sorrell. Good luck.
I
Thank
will,
you.
until I'm free, bye.
Thank you,
Give me
Ron.
my cigar.
Thanks, Detective. Have a great one. Sir, do you have a case?
Yes. It's gonna be a little bit before.
Blazinski. Stephen Joseph Blazinski Jr. 22M149206A and C. Your name?
Stephen Blazinski Jr.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael A. Carmen, P73824, on behalf of the defendant.
I'm not sure what's going on this. Did he, the file was just handled, I don't have a stip. Was there a stipulation?
No, Your Honor. What happened here, it appears, is that the citation was supposed to be issued to Mr. Blazinski's son, who is Stephen Joseph Blazinski III. Mr. Blazinski here is the second. It seems they both came on Zoom on December 27th. There was a note that Lisa printed out for the file. They were both on Zoom. Mr. Blazinski
Wait a
here
minute,
comes
this was,
first.
wait a minute. I mean, Judge Hessen was here and she wrote defendant failed to appear.
Mr. Blazinski, why don't give the judge you can give him a better rundown of what happened.
What do
that
you-
day when you just hang out.
What are you asking me to do?
We're asking for a dismissal as to him and a reissuance to his son.
Did you talk to the prosecutor about this?
I did. He has no further information about it.
Well, how do you
Doesn't
expect
seem-
me to do that? I mean, I don't know. I mean,
He doesn't know either. I mean, if you do notice, Your Honor, on the notice to appear that's in the file, somebody did write in a 3 next to his name. So meaning it should be sent to Stephen Blazinski III. My client here is Junior.
Junior.
a mess. I don't still. Who's the officer in charge on this? We have no troopers.
And I did look at the bottom of the ticket. I can't remember his name right now. There's no police.
What year
report.
were you born?
What's that?
What year were you born?
1957.
It's got a 57 date of birth on here on the citation.
Yeah, I was at home.
Listen,
My son was out and he was born in '87. Oh, sorry.
I don't want you to say anything against your interests, but you can't just come in here and tell me this and expect me to dismiss it. How do I dismiss this? He says he wasn't there. They wrote a guy and they typed in March 6th of 57. I mean, I'll set it for trial if you want, but how can I just, I mean, you're asking me to do something I just cannot do.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I was just hoping there'd be some kind of, I don't know, administrative way we could resolve it, or if Mr. Blazinski's son would be willing to come in and say, yes, it was me driving, and they just printed and issued the citation to the wrong Stephen Blazinski.
It's got his date of birth. He looks like a guy that was born about my time.
I understand that.
Well, he does.
But
I mean, so it's hard for me to say that, well, the trooper put down 1957, which is right, about somebody 65, 66 years old, as opposed to somebody who's 39 or 40. So, I mean, most troopers wouldn't do that. Most officers wouldn't do that. Call in Mr. Shajra again.
But Mr. Blazinski, that plate that your son was driving in that car was registered to you, correct?
Yeah, it was expired.
Yeah, so they pulled his son over for an expired plate, Your Honor.
Were you printed?
What's that?
Were you fingerprinted?
About 16, 17 years ago,
No,
yeah.
on this case, they
No.
take this. So you're saying it wasn't you. What are you, the second or a junior?
I'm a junior.
All right. Your appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Omar Shah on behalf of the people, PH 6332.
So I can't, he's asking me to dismiss. I can't just do that. Lisa, I would like your office. We're going to set this out. Two weeks, March 21. Are you here that day? You are, right, Mr. Carmen?
I should be, Your Honor.
We're going to set it at 10:30 in the morning. Lisa, send the state police notice also on this case. Tell them I would like Trooper Martin to appear. But Mr. Shaja, it's your office. It's your responsibility to get him here. So I'm going to tell him complainant must appear. Complainant must appear. He can appear by Zoom if he wants. He can appear by Zoom if he wants. I'm talking about the trooper.
Yes, Your Honor.
But I want Trooper Dan Martin here by Zoom or in person. And then we'll get to the bottom of it. And that's what we'll do. So I'll reschedule this. You were arraigned, it looks like, by Judge Bronson last Tuesday, right? The visiting judge?
Yeah.
So we're going to set this for March 21 at 10:30. And that's how we'll proceed. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you very much. That sounds like the best way to resolve it. As far as what we can do.
Thank you very much. Good luck, sir. I do wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Jeez.
Miss Watt, can you join the breakout room?
Yes, thank you.
Stephen Joseph Blazinski Jr., 22M149206 A, B, and C.
That's Mr. Carmen's also, so you can step up to the podium.
Michael A. Carmen, P7384, on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor.
Sir, your name?
Stephen Joseph Blazinski Jr.
So I don't know what
Gentleman, Sergeant from the State Police.
your name, Sergeant?
Sergeant Dan Martin, badge 409.
Did this,
Apparently it was issued in error and he's asking for dismissal.
what's this? Can you look at this? You know? I don't know what happened there. All right, so what do we have here? Okay, I wrote March 7th, said defendant says this is not him, says it wasn't him. Defendant is a junior, says it's his son, Stephen Blazinski III. And I had them set it for today. Complainant must appear by Zoom if he wants. Reset for today at 8:30
Correct, Your Honor.
or 10:30. Go ahead.
Your Honor, my fault. Mr. Blazinski and his son's names would have been one line apart on my car computer, and obviously I selected the wrong name. So it should have been to his son and not to him. So that's my fault.
Okay. All right, well, should have been issued to son. I'm just gonna make a note, and the prosecutor moves to dismiss, case dismissed. Sorry this happened. They might issue to your son. I don't know if they will or not, but that's not for you to worry about.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck. Wish you well. Case is dismissed. Thank you. Against Antonio Lee Harrison Jr., 23F239057A and B. Name?
Antonio Harrison.
It says you're going to plead the dry while suspended, revoke, denied with a no insurance to be dismissed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, Your
To
Honor.
do that, the possible penalties are up to 500 fines, 92 days jail. Costs of all of those are 2 points. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign, read, and understand an advice of rights form?
Yes.
If you plead guilty, you will be giving up all of those rights, and there will not be a hearing or a trial of any kind. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You have the right to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, I'll appoint you one at public expense. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Would you like a lawyer?
No,
To the charge driving just while suspended, revoked, or denied? How do you plead?
I plead guilty, Your
Were you
Honor.
operating a motor vehicle January 13 to 23 at 6:35 p.m. on Gibraltar near Commerce in Flat Rock?
Yes,
Was your license revoked?
yes, it
Were you
was.
on probation?
No,
Parole?
no,
Anybody forced you to plead guilty?
no.
And that was because of drunk drivings, correct?
Excuse me?
That was because of drunk drivings that you were revoked?
Yes.
Why are you still driving? When are you gonna learn?
I know I'm working on like paying all my tickets and stuff off.
You can't drive on a revoked license. Remind me what I sent you to jail for. You know how much you gotta push me to send you to jail?
Yes, yes.
What did I send you to jail for?
For being in front of you, not coming to court and stuff like that.
No. I might have set a bond you didn't like. Let me see here, please. You keep getting in trouble, Mr. Harrison. When I recognize your name, that's a bad deal. What did you go to jail on? What did you go to jail? What kind of charge?
What you mean jail? Here?
You just said to me earlier that I gave you 9 days. Did you not?
Yes, you
Am I
did.
dreaming? Am I convicted?
No, you gave me time. It was because I was in front of you and
For what charge? What was the charge?
I had I had several charges, Your Honor. Driving in cases, drinking, driving and drinking, driving while license suspended. So I understand where you're
I
going.
don't usually give drive 9 days suspend, revoke, denied, although I'm not sure you don't deserve that. But was it because of the drunk driving from 2019?
Yes, that's what it was
Let me
for.
see that one.
Because I paid.
Why are you here again? You like me that much? You want to come and see me every
No,
day?
listen, like when you locked me up, I paid my bond to get out. I still had to come to, I thought everything was combined together. Like,
Wait, slow down. I want to see this. Go down. Okay. Wait, no, go down one more. Wait.
It was on the 22 trespassing case.
What's going on with this 19 case? Go back and tell me the date he was sentenced on that. He still owes money on that, right?
I just made a payment last week, Your Honor. You set me up with an installment when I was here for you. For my warrants is what I came for. But now I'm here for what I initially got pulled over for. That's why I'm here today.
I'm accepting your plea. I'm dismissing the no insurance pursuant to stipulation. You have to stop violating laws. I don't know what else to tell you. You cannot keep doing this. Where do you work at again?
I have my own company.
I mean, you seem like a nice kid, but you get yourself in trouble. Look at how thick this criminal history is. Do you want me to go through it with you?
No, Your Honor.
You have a warrant out of Allen Park. You have a warrant out of the 36th District Court. You have a warrant, another warrant out of Allen Park, another warrant out of Allen Park, another warrant out of Novi, another warrant out of this court, it looks like. Let me see. No, that's Taylor. Another one out of Taylor. Another one out of Taylor. And another one out of Bloomfield Hills. Well, at least you come and show your face over here. You live in Taylor still?
No, I live out here.
Where?
Winchester Terrace, like 5 minutes away.
Why haven't you favored these other courts with your presence?
A lot of them that's on there happened when I was incarcerated. I sent them plea by mails, and unfortunately, I just haven't had the time to take care of them.
Haven't had the time.
Yeah, I'm running business. I have 4 kids, and I'm not like running from anything. I'm like working on all this right now.
You're not running from it. What do you mean?
I'm going to take care of my tickets, my tickets that I have with those cities.
Cheers. Nobody said you were running down I-75 to avoid the courts in Bloomfield Hills and Taylor. I'm not saying that. How much that agitates judges when people don't show up in court. I mean, you might as well just carry a flag in and say, I'm going to keep committing crimes and I'm not showing up. That's what you should do. I got to tell you, I'm just disappointed you come back to see me again. You must really enjoy my company. At least you come over here and see me. You don't go up to those courts. I mean, you seem like a nice kid. You're a likable kid. Your record, though, shows me differently. Do you want me to go through it with you, your criminal history?
No, Your Honor.
Of course you don't. How many felonies you have on here? I don't even want to look. How many felonies?
Too many.
Answer my question. How many?
7.
7. Well, less than 13. And you're how old?
I just turned 33.
33. So somehow in 15, 16 years, you have accumulated 7 felonies. At that rate, you'll have 21 by the time, let's see, that you're 48, 63. But you'll never do that because if you do, you're going to end up in prison. You been to prison yet?
Yes, I have.
Why? Why are you doing this? I don't understand it. You got how many kids?
4.
You need a dad that's not in prison, not in jail, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
How old are your kids?
10, 6. I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old.
You want to be a good example for them, right?
Yes, I'm a great father to my kids.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. I have no doubt. But they watch what we do. And when our dad's in trouble, we think it's okay for us to get in trouble. Nobody's going to convince me otherwise. We're role models, whether we like it or not, agree to it or not, think of it or not. That's what we're supposed to be.
Yes, sir.
You know, I don't know what to do with you. I don't. If I don't send another message here, you're going to keep driving on a revoked. You're going to keep getting in trouble. That's what you're going to do. You can make me send you back to jail today?
No. I just paid over $3,000 to get out. I was only driving, going to pick up. I shouldn't have been driving. I was wrong. I was going to pick up my kid's mom from work. I had picked my daughter up from school, so I had to get her. We only had one vehicle. She got called in to work at the hospital, so I had to pick her up. It's the only reason why I was driving.
If you come back and see me on one of these, I will send you to jail, even though it's not my practice to do so. Do we understand one another?
Yes, Your Honor.
You got your whole life ahead of you. And you're going to ruin it if you're not careful. I mean, you already started to. 100 fines, 260 costs, 75 victims' rights, $50 justice assessment, 485 or 93 days, 1 day jail credit, 1 on your way out. Just say to yourself 12 times on your way out the door, I am so lucky. I am so lucky. Repeat that 12 times before you get to the door. You understand?
Yes.
Do you have the money to pay or do you need time?
I have like a couple $100 on.
Pay 200 now. I'll tell you what I'll do. I mean, you are a nice guy. I like you. That's why it pains me to see you doing to yourself what you're doing. I mean, I wouldn't treat you better or worse if I did or didn't. But I'm only telling you, you pay 200 a day, 50 a week, starting March the 24th. That's 2 weeks from tomorrow. If you don't have the money at any time, no problem. All you have to do is come in here on or before the due date at 8:30, request an extension. If we have to do it 32 times, I'll be glad to do it. Okay?
Thank you.
Good luck. Stay out of here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Back.
Carson?
Yes.
Gene Null, Marzell, Carson. 15W3863, Mr. Carson. He's been ignoring us too, eh?
Yes, sir, I have.
Everybody's, I don't get it. I wish I could bring it to myself to ignore my mortgage company, paying my taxes to the government, my insurance premiums. I don't know what's going on here anymore. There's nothing funny about this. I'm laughing because it's a sad commentary. It really is. I don't get this. I mean, I've been waiting for you. What if I didn't show up here since 2017?
I'd be upset, sir.
At least you're winning the Jeopardy quiz so far. Your appearance,
Derwin Hansabeth, Mr. Carson.
your name.
Jamal Marzal Carson,
What am
sir.
I gonna do with him? Judge Kirsten sentenced him.
Well, Judge,
Back on, it looks like. It looks like May 29th of 19. So, I mean, this was a 2015 case, but that's when everybody got around to taking care of it. And that's where we are now. What is he here for? Show cause that alleges failed to report by mail, failed to pay fines and costs as ordered, right?
Correct.
What is he going to do on those?
he pleaded guilty on the violations, Your Honor. He did come in today and he brought money.
Bring him back in here, please. If you plead guilty here, sir, I don't know what happened, but your 771 status is going to be revoked in all likelihood. The conviction's going to be entered here today, and you would be subject then to a new sentence, which could consist of a 90-day jail term. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign, read, and understand this yellow advice of rights entitled revocation of probation?
Yes, sir.
Plead guilty, you'll be giving up all of those rights, and there will be no hearing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand everything that's going on?
A little bit, sir.
Well, I want to make sure all of it. What part don't you understand?
I came in, I'm trying to, I want this done.
Yeah, I know.
I want to be able to pay or get
Now he's gonna
probation.
negotiate with me.
I don't want to
These guys don't
negotiate,
understand
sir.
how long I've been
Just
doing
want to say you
this.
understand what's going on.
They don't understand how long I've been doing this. How old are you?
I'm 33 in 3 days.
Well, I started when you were about 4.5.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So come on. Do you understand everything I've said?
Yes, sir.
You're just trying to negotiate with me, weren't you?
No, sir.
I want to pay the money and I want to go, Judge. I want to be done with it. That's what you were trying to tell me.
I know it's-
Wasn't that trying to?
That was, sir. You're
All
right.
So let's focus on one thing at a time. Do you understand everything?
Yes, sir.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights. There will be no hearing. Do you understand?
Yes,
that?
sir.
To the charge that you failed to report by mail as instructed, how do you plead?
No contest, sir. Guilty, sir. Guilty, sir. I'm sorry. Guilty, sir.
Count 2, that you failed to pay your fines and costs as ordered, balance $795. How do you plead to that?
Guilty,
Did you
sir.
fail to pay your fines and costs?
Yes.
Did you fail to report by mail?
Yes.
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Did he ever do his community service?
No, sir.
All right, we've got Ms. Wilds coming over, right?
Yes, Judge. This is just marijuana. Right?
Yes. Yes.
We actually pled a disorderly person. We were trying to. All right, give me a second. Ms. Wilds, I took the defendant's plea to both counts of the show cause. I'm going to revoke his 771 status anyway and enter the conviction, and I'll sentence him anew today. Counsel, what would you like to tell me?
Judge, as bad as it is, it could be worse. He could have not shown up today. He walked in, he wants to get this done. And I asked him about the fines and costs, and he said to
You're one of those glass half full guys, aren't you? At least you can read my mind, Mr. Haynes. Ms. Wilds, your name.
Elizabeth Wilds, probation.
What do you, he didn't do his community service, he
He
didn't pay.
did do his community
He
service.
said he didn't.
I got the verification, I just glanced at it.
First time I've had a defendant make a mistake to their detriment.
It's
To their detriment. To their detriment, maybe in like 3 years.
Yeah.
Maybe longer.
Of course he did it, Your Honor, 16 hours with National Faith Home Buyers. They've
See,
got their
time
own
flies
policy.
when you're failing to show up in court.
Yes, sir.
He doesn't remember because it was so long ago,
Yep.
because it was 3.5 years ago. What else do you want to say? Has he picked up any new charges?
I did not run his record for today, Your Honor.
Let's take
this
a
morning.
look and see how he's been doing.
Yeah, it's obviously 2015 case, it gets sent, kind of sat on that warrant for a
How
little
many
while.
other cases you got pending?
just all driving with, maybe about 3 or
Warrant was
4.
requested on February 4th on a traffic case out of this court. Let's check and see what that was for. You know what that was for, Mr. Haynes?
I don't.
What was it for?
Driving on a suspender, sir.
Let me see that. You have warrants out for your arrest. You aware of that?
Yes, sir. Lincoln Park,
Dearborn,
Detroit.
Dearborn, and Detroit.
Yes, sir.
So what caused you, I want to ask, I'm just curious, is it just the kindness of the 33rd that made you want to show up here first? Did you get arrested on this? What happened? Why did you come in here first?
Sir, my mother passed recently and I was arrested, I want to say maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago for driving to go pick up food for my family. And something just told me I need this to be over with and I need to start from every city and get this done with. I literally was
Wait a
just,
minute, you posted a bond of $800.
yes, sir.
So you posted the bond when you were arrested.
Yes, sir.
That's why you were here. It wasn't just you saw this God speaking to you.
No, it was time.
You had to get rid of this.
It was
right?
time also,
It
sir.
was time because you got picked up on the warrant, right?
Yes, sir.
You wouldn't have come in. Don't tell me you were going to come in the next day if you hadn't gotten arrested.
Not the next day, sir.
You weren't going to come in at all.
I was gonna come in, sir.
Listen,
I was gonna come in, sir. I didn't have all the money for that and I just wanted to make sure I had a lawyer and all the other things ready for it. I have 5 kids and, I got a lot going on, sir, so.
I'm telling you, they must not think I passed the bar exam, huh? They must not think I not only didn't graduate law school, but didn't get in there. I'm not sure a good percentage of them give me credit for getting through the 9th grade. Why don't you just tell me? Everything else you said to me so far was perfect. Then you wanted to make it sound like you had this epiphany that you just decided to go into the 33rd District Court and deal with this case. And the only reason you're in the 33rd District Court, you now know, I know, and everybody else knows, is because you got picked up on the warrant.
That's not true, sir. Though.
So you haven't been here 3.5 years, and you were gonna come in the next day.
No, not the next day, but I was getting ready to come in,
You
sir.
were getting ready. What were you doing to get ready?
I was working.
Bringing clean
I was
underwear,
working
getting
and
your haircut and everything, getting everything ready.
no, sir.
Cutting the lawn, doing the snow, taking care of all the home improvements before you came in, just in case. Right?
No, sir. My mother had died from cancer. Then my best friend had died. I have a lot going on in my family. I have 5 kids and my newborn daughter is back there right now, sir.
I am sorry.
I'm
about
trying to get my life together and I plan on coming in
hang on.
here.
Don't start getting aggressive.
I'm not, sir.
I'm sorry about your mother, but please don't try to tell me you were gonna come in. Give me a new first page of a register. I really am. It's terrible to lose a parent. I lost one of mine when I was younger than you by 5 or 6 years. It's a terrible thing to lose a parent. First page, first page. Let's go over and check in with these other places.
I was working on one place at one time, sir. I
got
believe
picked up.
I
Hang
checked.
on a second. Hang on. Now listen. You got picked up on a warrant on a traffic offense in this court. That's why you posted your bond. You're
Correct.
at least going to agree with that.
That's correct, sir.
All right. Okay. 771 status. What would you like to say, Mr. Haynes? Anything else?
Judge, I don't have anything to add. It looks like he is on track and doesn't intend to take care of all this stuff. So I'm encouraged.
All right, is there anything else you would like to say?
No, sir.
771.1 status is revoked. The conviction is entered. 500 fines, 200 costs, 75 victims' rights fee, $50 justice assessment, 2 days of community service. I'm going to give you until May the 2nd to complete that. I'm actually making it 4 days, but I'm giving you credit for 2. I'm going to give you until May the 2nd to complete that. So you have until May the 2nd to complete 2 days of community service, 16 hours, $825 for 90 days. You have a bond of 800. That bond was I believe, let me double check that, but I believe it was a 10% bond. Well, no, it was 800 cash or surety. So you can apply that whole bond. Can you pay the other $25 today?
Yes, sir.
All right, so here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna meet with her. This could have been a lot worse. You're gonna meet with her. Explain about the community service or talk to you about that. You sign over your bond. You pay another 25, you get your community service done, and we are done. If you don't do your community service or don't pay the rest of your fines, you could get 90 days. Do you understand that?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right, any questions?
No, sir.
I wish you well.
Thank you, sir.
Go take care of your other cases. Listen to me. Go take care of your other cases before you're picked up.
Yes, sir.
And then don't go in and tell the judge that you just had an epiphany again.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Haynes. Mr. Neese, your name again.
Alexander Neese.
All right, Sergeant.
Sergeant Wilczynski, Flat Rock Police Department, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Carmen, your name again.
Michael A. Carmen, 373824, on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor.
I don't have any show cause in the file.
I have the blue back here, Your Honor, Elizabeth Wiles probation.
Why are the blue backs? Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Why do I feel like when these warrants, why am I having a search for blue backs all the time? Are they not getting to you guys to get them in the file?
File comes down here first for arraignment on the warrant, and then we.
No, change that. If they're coming in front of me on a show cause, the blue back needs to be in here. I'm not gonna
I
have.
also have the blue back for the PSI.
Okay, but I mean, these show causes, they need to be in the files before I pick them up. You know what I'm saying? They just do.
Yeah, I'll get with Amy.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, so I have a charge of failure to refrain from violating a law. Defendant being convicted of domestic violence on March the 17th. He was placed on probation for 6 months by Judge Kirsten on an attempted retail fraud on 16F 219431. And then on the other case, it looks like it was a domestic. I'm not sure what the sentence was, 17F3893 by Judge Kirsten.
Failed to appear for the
Chemical testing, anger management, no alcohol, psychological evaluation. What do I don't have a show cause in that case?
failed
I have a
to
blue back for sentencing on that case.
Yep, he wrote on it. Was that just what he anticipated doing, or?
I am not aware.
So you're
We
saying
don't
the
have it
domestic, he
sentenced.
was never convicted, or he was never convicted, never sentenced? Judge Kirsten wrote all over this case. It's got $50 judgment fee, $60 screening fee.
Judge, he would
Lisa,
sometimes,
can you?
he
Pardon?
failed to appear for a sentencing. Judge Kirsten would sometimes write that stuff ahead of time.
Does appear as though he pled guilty on that. Let's talk about where your client has been. Why does he think he doesn't have to show up?
Your Honor, we're not gonna play the excuse game. He just hasn't been here.
Well, that's honest. Where you been, Mr. Neese?
I've been in Woodhaven, and as of lately, I was in Lincoln Park, just working jobs.
You mean you've been driving by the courthouse and what are you doing? Thumbing your nose at us when you go out down Van Horn?
Not
you
at all.
kidding?
No, sir.
Well, listen to me. You might as well carry a banner in here and say, I have no respect for courts. I'm going to do this again. That's the way I look at it. Somebody doesn't show up for 6 years. I think I can safely assume that they don't have any respect for courts. You might as well carry a banner in. So
Apologize.
maybe I just need to set a really high cash bond and set this for sentencing in next year sometime. I mean, after all, I've been waiting for you for 6 years. It's fair for you to wait for me for 9 months, right?
Sorry, Your Honor.
Don't apologize to me. You don't need to apologize to me. Apologize to yourself, maybe. You got a history of this, young man. You got a history of this.
Your Honor, I've been trying to stay out of trouble for the past few years because of that.
Listen, I don't care if you join the seminary. You should have come in here and taken care, you should come in here and taken care of this case. Both of them.
You're right, Your Honor.
I know. You got a big problem, son. Let's take the show cause on the attempt retail fraud. Charges he failed to refrain from violating a law. How's he going to proceed on that?
Plead guilty, Your Honor.
You plead guilty to violation of law. Your probation on this attempt retail fraud could be revoked. You could be incarcerated for up to 45 days. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You are presumed innocent. They have to prove you guilty by a preponderance of the evidence. You have the right to question their witnesses, bring in your own witnesses, use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses. If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights and there will not be a hearing. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And that's how he wishes to proceed?
Correct, Your Honor.
To the charge, you failed to refrain from violating a law, being convicted of domestic violence on March the 7th of 17. How do you plead?
I'm guilty, Your Honor.
Were you convicted of domestic violence on that date and while you were on probation on the attempted retail fraud?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anybody forced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'm going to accept your plea. I find it to be an accurate plea. Made voluntarily and understandingly, the plea is accepted. These things never get better, Mr. Neese. They never get better. You've made this harder. You've made it worse for you. Where does he work?
Your Honor, he works at the Dollar Tree in Lincoln Park, earns $13 an hour, works about 30 hours a week. He lives in Lincoln Park with his girlfriend, who he also helps support, and he has a young son who lives in Texas.
He has a young son? Is that what you said?
Texas.
Okay. And he is 28 years old, right?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. We got to do, Ms. Wild, your appearance again.
Elizabeth Wiles, probation, Your Honor.
So I have to schedule the, it's Judge Kirsten, did he order a pre-sentence or?
He did, Your Honor. I have it. It's so be it from 2017, but I do have a blue back completed, Your Honor, from then.
You got a big problem here. I'm sorry that you made it come to this. I need an updated one.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll have a sentence date real quick, Lisa, because I'm going to be a lot more fair with him than he has been with us. If I didn't, well, I could set it out for a few years and he could find out the hard way, but I'm not going to do that to you.
March 23rd at 8:30.
March 23rd at 8:30. You must have a lot of money. You sure have forfeited bonds. 2,500, 10% on the retail fraud. I'm setting that for sentencing for March the 23rd at 8:30, and I'm also setting the sentencing on the domestic violence for the same date, March the 23rd at 8:30. I'm setting 2,500, 10% on the retail fraud. I'm setting 5,000, 10% on the domestic violence. You're going to make a massive mistake. It looks like you're able to come up with money. You're going to make a massive mistake this time. I promise you. If you post a bond and you don't show up, I'm telling you, I'm gonna call up Flat Rock and I'm gonna have them call all over and drive all over until they find you, and then you are going to be in deep trouble. Do we understand one another?
I understand you, Officer, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
The bond conditions are continued, so you cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law. You must appear in court as directed. No contact with Shirley Gonzalez. You can't return to 27021 Riverside Street, apartment B13 in Flat Rock. No alcohol, no illegal drugs. Also on the attempt retail fraud, no alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to return to 28659 Telegraph. So bond conditions set by Judge Kirsten continued. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, sir.
Anything else, Sergeant?
All set, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Good enough.
Have a seat.
Freddie Gonzalez, 22D638503. B. Could I have Larisha Kelly? Sir. Come on.
Good morning. For the record, Your Honor, Attorney Mike Coleman on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez. Sir, can you just state your name for the record?
Freddie Gonzalez.
Judge, today's the day and time set for a free trial. We've had an opportunity to work out the case. We're asking the court to adopt an admitted count of allowing an unlicensed driver to operate a motor vehicle. In return, the DWS will be dismissed. Your Honor, my client is now eligible for his license. It is expired. My understanding is he does have an appointment to go down and procure that license.
Is this what you would like to do, Mr. Gonzalez? Plead to this?
Yes.
If you plead to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, the possible penalties are up to 500 fines, 90 days jail, costs for all of those. I'll dismiss the 2-point suspend charge on motion to the prosecutor. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Did he sign an advice of rights?
Yes.
When, today?
I signed on Monday.
I gotta have him signed today.
I don't know about anything.
You're presumed innocent. They have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to testify or remain silent. If you choose to remain silent, that silence would not be held against you. If you plead guilty, you're waiving the presumption of innocence. You're waiving the requirement that they prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You're waiving your right to a jury trial. You're waiving your right to a trial of any kind. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
For the charge allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Were you in control of a vehicle on March the 8th of 22, a 2013 Chrysler that was being operated at 11:58 in the morning on Fort near Marion and Trent?
Yes.
And again, you allowed somebody to drive that was suspended, revoked, or denied, and that somebody was you, true?
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, I'm not.
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
No.
Please accepted to that charge. The suspend is dismissed. So he's another one. I mean, I realized he was in front of me the other day. I said,
Yeah, it's a 22 case. Yes.
I know, because he doesn't show.
I'll tell you.
Did you tell him to bring the banner in here?
I pre-lecture him in my office, letting them know that they're
I'm
going
gonna
to.
lecture him. Well, then you and I are on the same page.
We are, Your Honor. He understands.
He does a good job too.
Yep.
Where at again?
I'm at Chrysler.
You make how much?
About 32 or 30.
Well, you're gonna give somebody else that job and keep acting like this. Maybe then you'll be able to put the pickles on it, Burger King.
Yeah. I apologize.
Seriously, well, why would you act like a fugitive on this?
I
I don't expect guys, with all due respect, that work at Chrysler that have a responsible job that pays them $32 an hour. I don't expect them to act like this. I don't expect anybody to act like this. Don't get me wrong. Just ridiculous.
Yeah,
You didn't show up. You didn't show up April 4th, 22. We issued a show cause. You didn't show up April 28th. I issued a warrant. Then you were picked up on the warrant, and then you didn't show up in July of 22. You do this with all the courts, or are you just singling us out?
No, sir. It's all taken care of.
Criminal history. You've had some contacts here, right? MDOP, malicious destruction of a building, 200 or more, but less than 1,000. That's a 1 year. You got an impaired driving. You have a flee and elude third, which is a felony. You have a suspend, revoke, denied. Bench warrant issued on this. What Chrysler plant you work at?
Down the street at Trenton Engine.
You've been driving by here like this? You've been waving at us?
I was laid off for a while, so.
How long's a while?
I had an offer for close to a year. That's why I'm here now, taking care of everything.
Pay more money, just tell them. 100 fines, 250 costs, 75 victims' rights, $50 justice assessment. The total is 475 or 93 days. You have a bond, 5,000, 10%. We keep 10% or $50 of that. You're gonna have to go down, sign the bond over, pay the other 25. Stop doing this.
And he's gonna go get his license. He has an appointment.
I got it. Good luck. Stop this nonsense, okay?
Thank you.
Larisha Kisika Burka. This is 04T55423.
Hi, hello, I'm Jessica Burka.
Your name? I'm sorry,
Jessica
that your name is
Burka.
Burka, you said.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so you filed this petition to set aside a drunk driving conviction, correct? And it was operating while impaired conviction, which was on May 7 of 04.
yes, Your Honor.
How many convictions have you had in your life, ma'am?
Just that one.
What are you doing now for a living?
I'm a nurse, a registered nurse now. After I had the conviction, I became a firefighter paramedic. I am still licensed. Currently, I'm not working for any department. I'm also a paramedic instructor. I'm a registered nurse, and I'd like to get my nurse practitioner. That'd be the next step in my career, which is why I'm asking the court to please set aside or dismiss those previous charges.
Okay, so I just want to get this straight. Let's cover this. You've never been convicted of more than 3 felonies, and you've not had any convictions for assaultive crimes, domestic violence, assault or assault and battery, nothing like that, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Do you have any other criminal charges pending?
No, sir.
Have you ever had another drunk driving or sought? Let's start with that. You've never had another drunk driving?
No, sir.
And you did not previously apply to have you did not previously apply to have a first OWI conviction set aside?
No, sir. Previous to this new law, there was no way for me to have that conviction set aside.
I know. I just have to. I get it. I just have to ask these questions. Okay.
I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
There's nothing to apologize about. You're fine. Okay. There's nothing to apologize at all. So you're a nurse?
Yes, sir.
So let me just indicate, first of all, the city attorney has written up a stip saying they have no objection to the expungement. The Attorney General's office responded saying that they have really no objection, essentially. They're leaving it to the discretion of the court. Ma'am, it sounds like you're doing the right things, okay? Congratulations. I'm going to go ahead and order the expungement. Court finds that all those things occurred. You've not been convicted of more than 3 felonies. You've not had any convictions for assaultive crimes. You have no pending criminal charges. You've not been convicted of a criminal offense during the applicable time period, and you've not previously applied to or had a first violation operating while intoxicated conviction set aside, and the time period has passed for setting aside the conviction. Also, an opportunity has been given to the Attorney General's office and the prosecuting official to contest the application. They do not object. Circumstances and behavior of you from the date of the application to the filing of the application warrant setting aside the conviction. It is consistent with the public welfare. Congratulations. I'm going to go ahead and sign the order. You are all set. Best of luck to you.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. God bless you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Take care.
I need all the blessings I can get. Have a good day. Thank you very much. Good luck. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cintron, no. All right, recalling Charles Redfield, 219-719-821. Mr. Crawford, your name again.
Michael Crawford, representing the defendant.
Mr. Redfield, your name.
Charles Logan Redfield, Your Honor.
So down.
Just vote on behalf of probation.
So I just want to make sure we talked about this. I revoked his HIDA status now. I just want to make sure I've let everybody finish. I already told you how I felt about this entire episode. He's blown us off. It was an aggravated domestic. He had the opportunity to keep it off his record with a HIDA plea. He didn't. He didn't comply. He didn't think he had to comply. And that's where we are. So I just want to make sure everybody is heard or had a fair opportunity to be heard. Mr. Redfield, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Crawford, anything else?
Nothing, Your Honor.
You know, Mr. Redfield, I want you to know that I meant every word I said. I want you to know that I read through this nonsense. And the price that you're going to pay is not as severe, frankly, as it should be. We don't do this. We don't do this. I can't believe you didn't do the domestic violence with the 26-week follow-up. Do you know how infrequently I order that? I bet I don't order that. Maybe 3 times a year. Maybe. I'm not so sure. That's how confounded I was about this entire ordeal with your conduct and what you did to this lady. And then you'd blow us off for 13 months, knowing you had a 365-day jail sentence. I'm not going to belabor this any longer. There's only 6 months left for you to do probation, unfortunately. Because I placed you on probation on October the 12th, and we're not going to handle this after October the 12th. Today's March the 22nd. So October the 12th of 21, that essentially means 2 years expires October 12th of 23. So 6 months probation. Terms of the probation. By the way, did we ever determine if there was restitution due in owing? Do you know?
I don't believe so.
No, there's not.
Okay. No restitution owing.
No.
You served 1 day jail on this case. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court. You cannot violate any law or ordinance. If you change your address, your place of employment, or home telephone number, you must notify probation. You have to report as directed. I want to make sure, again, probation, and I want to make sure you guys did that. Probation to determine amount of restitution. Probation to determine amount of restitution. Defendant entitled to a hearing. So I want to make sure that that's followed up with. Defendant entitled to a hearing. I'm sure you guys did it. They would not have not done it if he disagrees with amount. If he disagrees with amount. With the amount requested, I should say. So it's pay restitution as determined by probation. You're not to possess any firearms or dangerous weapons. So repeat, you can't leave the state without consent. You can't violate a law or ordinance. If you change your address, your place of employment, or home telephone number, you must notify probation. You have to report as directed. Pay restitution is determined by probation. Probation is to determine the amount of restitution. You're entitled to a hearing if you disagree. No contact with the victim, Brianna Cruz. You're not to possess firearms. You're not to possess dangerous weapons. You're to attend the domestic violence program with 26-week follow-up. I realize you can't complete that program. I want him started. Defendant to begin within 7 days of release from jail. Within 7 days of release from jail. So you better get on the horse. You better get it going. 200 fines, 400 costs, 6 months probation. As I said, these are all probation terms. 120 in probation fees. I'm going to assume that we've already collected the victim's rights fee and justice assessment fee. Your total here amounts to $720. You're to serve the next 40 days in jail with credit for 1. If you violate, you're going to serve 1 year. You have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of appeal. You're going to serve 39 days beginning now. Can you pay all of this today?
I can pay 500 of it, 545.
Well, you pay 545 now. You're going to pay the balance by May the 20th of 2023. Good luck to you. Have a seat in the jail, in the jury box. Marvin Ray Naylor to 0W8263383. Ms. Murphy, your name?
Kathy Murphy for Mr. Naylor.
Mr. Naylor, your name?
Marvin Ray Naylor.
Well, defendant pled guilty to attempt retail fraud. Retail fraud was dismissed. We had the opportunity to review the pre-sentence report with more substance abuse screening report.
Yes, Judge.
Any material additions, corrections, or deletions?
Mr. Naylor is diabetic, Your Honor, and he is insulin dependent.
Okay.
So under health information.
Okay, I'll modify the report in that aspect.
That's all as far as the report goes.
Okay, anything else that you'd like to say?
So Judge, Mr. Naylor is on probation in Wayne County for a controlled substance offense that he was sentenced to in April of 22. This incident preceded that incident. But just so you know, he is already on probation in Wayne County. He was sentenced to a 2-year term. He did 5 months in the county. He should be released at the end of March of 24. He is doing everything he is supposed to do. He went to Dawn Farms. He's still living there. He has a full-time job. He's been sober for a year. Probation is asking for 18 months probation. Judge, since he's already on probation, my request is that you reduce that period substantially. Just so you know, with respect to Mr. Naylor's finances, he has some, I think it's traffic stuff in Inkster, right, Mr. Naylor? That he's paying $50 a month for. He's paying $100 a month to Wayne County for his probation, and he pays $70 weekly in child support. And so any kind of economic break that you can give Mr. Naylor, Your Honor, I'm asking you to give with respect to, do you have to drop for Wayne County? So Judge, he has to drop for Wayne County how often?
Once a week.
Weekly? So he's already dropping weekly for Wayne County that you have to pay for, right? So I would ask your honor to, I don't know if the probation department can coordinate with Wayne County to get the results of the drops that he's already doing for Wayne County, or if he could have those results sent here on a bi-weekly basis, just so that he doesn't have another drop that he has to do besides the weekly one that he's already doing. Sorry, Judge.
What do you think I'm thinking?
I think you want me to be quiet.
No, I think you can go on and on all you want. I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is that Mr. Naylor here thinks laws don't apply to him, and I don't want to hear this. He's getting himself help. I don't care what probation has recommended, frankly. This man needs to go to jail, and he's going to jail today.
What?
Oh yeah, back off and don't start arguing with me, Miss Murphy. He only has about 25 convictions here. Let's go through your record, Mr. Naylor. 1990 retail fraud 2, 1990 retail fraud 1. We got several ordinance violations from 1990 and 1991. Retail fraud 91, 2 counts of temp retail fraud first, 92. Retail fraud first, 93. 2 counts retail fraud first, 93. Another ordinance violation. Westland, 97. Domestic violence and trespass, 14B district, 1998. Retail fraud second, 2000. Retail fraud third, 2000. Attempt B&E 01. Retail fraud third, 02. Suspend license 14. Allowing suspended person to operate 15. Allowing suspended person to operate 15. Controlled substance violation 17, retail fraud 18, RNC, motor vehicle 18, out retail fraud 20, larceny less than 220, larceny less than 220. And you say what?
So Judge.
Hang on. Is there anything you want to say, Mr. Naylor?
Since these incidents, I have completed the Dog Farms Treatment Center, inpatient and outpatient. I'm currently living in a treatment facility home, and I have been sober a year.
I'm glad to hear that.
So Judge, all of these, just about every single one of these prior convictions would be the result of a drug problem. I'm sure you'd agree with me on that, right?
Give me a break.
Judge.
You've got 25 convictions here. You think I'm going to be this crazy left-wing liberal where I'm going to say all this is okay? This has been going on for 33 years. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I can't believe the prosecutor didn't enhance this. I can't believe they gave attempt. To be honest with you, that's their call. This is mine. Anything else, Mr. Naylor?
I'm currently working full-time.
Good. 250 fines, 450 costs, 75 victims' rights, $50 justice assessment. I'd give you a lot more time if I could. The total here amounts to $825, 35 days jail, 10 days more if you don't pay your fines and costs not paid. You're going to pay your fines and costs no later as follows. You can pay $40 a week. I will begin this starting on May the 26th. You have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer. The system's really broken if we're going to let this go on. Have a seat in the jury box, sir. Have a seat. People against Francis Farkas, 23W831734. People against Madison Evans, Madison Jordan Mackenzie Evans, 22B142068, 22W829692.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Mike Hillcroft, representing Ms. Evans. Ms. Evans, please state your name for the record.
Madison Evans.
All right, I'm gonna need Ms. O'Donnell over here on this one. What are we doing on this one?
Your Honor, my client would plead guilty to the violations on both cases.
All right. So on the resist and obstruct, I placed you on probation for 12 months on November 23. And then I placed you on probation on the other case under Haida. And if you plead guilty here, If you plead guilty here, your HIDA status could be revoked, conviction entered on the assault case. And if you plead guilty on the other charge, your 771 status could be revoked and the conviction entered on the R1L case. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Did you sign, read, and understand an advice of rights form here today?
Yes, I did.
Plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights, and there will not be a hearing. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
All right. To the charge, you failed to attend your, and by the way, on the assault charge, we have a little bit different charges. So let's start with the resist and obstruct. The charge, you failed to attend your probation visit on March 6, 23. How do you plead?
Guilty.
I can't hear you, ma'am.
Guilty.
Did you fail to attend your the probation visit on that day?
Yes, I did.
Count 2, that you failed to attend the court work program on January 21. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Did you fail to attend on that day to the court at the court work program?
Yes.
Count to the charge count 3, failure to attend the court work program January 28 of 23. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Did you fail to attend the court work program on that day?
Yes, I did.
Count 4, that you failed to attend the court work program February 11. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Did you fail to attend the court work program on that day?
Yes.
Count 5, that you failed to attend the anger management program with 8-week follow-up. How do you plead?
Guilty, but I did start it.
Did you fail to attend and complete that program?
Yes.
Count 6, that you failed to pay fines and costs as ordered. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Did you fail to do that?
Yes.
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
No.
Well, this is disappointing, counsel. She's gonna force me again to do something I don't want to do again today. All right, let's go over to the assault charge. To that one, failure to attend the probation visit March 6th. You plead guilty to that, ma'am?
Yes.
You failed to attend that day?
Yes.
Anybody force you to plead guilty to that charge?
No.
Count 2, failure to attend the anger management program with 8-week follow-up. How do you plead to that?
Guilty.
Did you fail to do that?
Yes.
Count 3, you failed to pay your fines and costs as ordered. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Did you fail to do that?
Yes.
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
No.
Well, this is not good. So let's see. She didn't report. She missed 3 days court work. She didn't do anger management. She didn't pay fines and costs on either case. It's only about one. Even if I lump the two, anger management and failure to pay fines and the probation visit together, she's got at least 6 or 7 violations here.
Well, Your Honor, there is an explanation.
Tell me, I can't wait.
Well, Your Honor, as the court notices, I'm sure all these violations happen in kind of the same time period. My client has experienced a couple of really tough personal hardships recently. She's been homeless for the past several weeks. She's just got that resolved here recently.
Where was she living? On the street, literally?
Yeah, I was living with my mom, and then I had to find a new place to live.
Where does your mom live? What city?
In Brownstown.
How long were you living with her?
My whole life.
Well, wait a minute.
When did you become homeless, Your Honor?
I see. You were living with your mom and you had to find a new place.
Yes.
And where did you go from your mom's?
I finally got into my grandma's house. She made space for me. But she doesn't have a car, so I wasn't able to.
Well, let's slow down a bit. When did you leave your mom's?
Like the beginning of January.
When did you start at your grandma's?
Just a couple weeks ago.
Where were you between the end of January and say the middle of, let's call it the second week of March?
Bouncing around.
Did you ever have to spend the night on the street?
No, not outside.
So where'd you
like
spend?
in my car. I was sleeping in my car for a little while. But I wasn't like literally outside.
Is she working?
Not right now.
She's going to school? Ma'am, listen, I hate to tell you, but if you're not working, you're not going to school, Guess where you're likely to end up. I mean, why aren't you working? How old are you?
20.
Why aren't you working?
I lost my car and I wasn't able to get back and forth. It was a lot.
Who's this with you?
My dad.
He stepped in to help try to support it all.
Yeah, I'm
He's a-
going to a temp service today so I can go get a job. He finally like adjusted his schedule so that he can take me to and from work.
Please listen to me. You gotta work harder. You gotta work harder. I mean, I don't know of anybody that wouldn't be homeless if they didn't work. Seriously. I wonder how a lot of people do it. Somehow, some way they seem to. I don't know, have any idea how they do it. I really don't. I don't understand it. It's beyond my comprehension. First of all, I'd drive myself crazy if I had to spend all day alone. Have you, can I ask a question? I don't want to bring up a bad subject. Have you talked to a counselor at all?
No.
Did you graduate high school?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a smart young lady. When's the last time you had a job?
November.
Where at?
Precision.
Doing what?
Carporting.
Why'd you leave there?
It just, my schedule I wasn't able to get there on time and it was too early.
What time did you have to start?
5 o'clock in the morning.
Where's the location at?
Taylor on Eureka.
Before you quit, did you think about maybe? You did quit, right?
Yeah.
Did you think about maybe before you quit, finding another job? I mean, that's just.
Yeah, that's smart. I wasn't making good decisions.
Dad, come on up here a second. Can we help her out here? She's kind of worrying me.
Worries me too.
I mean, something's going on that I'm not liking here right now. What's your name, sir?
My name's Luther Gray.
So what are we gonna do here? This is not good. This is not healthy. I mean, her staying in a car, her not having a job, her leaving employment before she had another job, her missing court work, I know I told her, if you don't have the money, come talk to me. Did I tell you that?
Yes.
I tell everybody that. Why didn't you come talk to me if you didn't have the money?
Just not making good decisions.
Well, come on, that's a crutch. Let's knock it off. I mean, that's a crutch.
It's true.
Well, then let's figure out a way we're gonna start making good decisions. These are not hard decisions. Judge tells you to do the court work program, you show up for it. Judge tells you to do anger management, you show up for it. Now, I want you to know, sir, on this R&O case, here's my notes. We'll consider after reading report with letter, whether court will take under advisement conditionally. I wasn't excited about taking this resist and obstruct under 771, which means she can keep the conviction off her record to begin with. And now she's proven that maybe I was wrong in agreeing to do so. Because listen, we're not playing pro ball here, seriously. I mean, if we're playing pro ball and we went 1 for 9, they'd pay us 19 million. You follow me? It might be over 2 years. We hit 380. I don't know, 46 million a year. They don't do that. We don't do that here. You have to bet close to 100%, if not 100%. So I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. You better figure it out though. But you got to toughen up. You know, seriously. You got to toughen up. You got to just kind of figure it out. And I don't mean that this life thing is easy. Nobody said it was easy. But you're not going to get anywhere sitting at home, sleeping in a car, not getting to work. I mean, you're not going to get there. So we got to get her some help somehow. But I know this, one of the greatest times in history to find employment. I'm setting a sentence date. I want you to have a job. When's Mr. Crawford here, Lisa?
April 12th.
I'm accepting all these pleas. Well, I'd like to do it. Don't I have you here before then, Mr. Crawford? Oh, shoot.
He's here on the 29th, but that's next week.
Well, I think you can have a job next week, don't you? Yes?
Yes.
Because there's all kinds of them out there. There's only about 15, 20 businesses between here and Bell Tire, right?
Yes.
Let's find a job. Sentence date, March the 29th. And what's a good time? How about if we do 10:15?
Okay.
March 29th at 10:15. Please are accepted to all these charges, but you're in danger of losing your status here. And I don't want that to happen to you. So you better get going. I expect you to find a job. Find a job. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
We're not going to reschedule the court work because she's going to probably be working a lot of Saturdays right now. Right? I'll talk to you March 29th. Please don't come back without a job. Sir, we got to keep an eye on her, right?
Make sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Is she going to stay with you for a few days?
Yeah, she's staying with my mom right now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You got a free place to
My
stay. Welcome
job,
to this
yeah.
brutal world.
Yeah.
You know, if our parents and grandparents predeceased us, which there's probably well over a 90% chance that they're going to, then we have to fend for ourselves. So let's get started right now, okay? Good luck.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. People against Kellerman. Carol Susan Kellerman, 22B141214.
Kathy Murphy for Ms. Kellerman, Your Honor, who's present.
I'm gonna need you on this one too, Jessica. Ms. Kellerman, your name?
Carol Kellerman.
What are we doing on this one?
So Judge, Ms. Kellerman will plead guilty to the
Is
violation.
that what you want to do?
Yes, Your
If
Honor.
you plead guilty here, your 771 status could be revoked, conviction entered, you'd be subject to a 90-day jail term. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
And did you sign, read, and understand an advice of rights form here today or not?
I think I did that one last week when I was.
You gotta do it every time. You're presumed innocent. They have to prove you guilty by a preponderance of the evidence. You have the right to question their witnesses, to bring in your own witnesses. To use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses. If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights and there will not be a hearing or a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
To the charge, count one, that you failed to register for the impulse control program. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your
Did you
Honor.
fail to register for that?
I called them and I explained to them I was trying to get the money together.
You haven't registered though.
No, yes, Your Honor.
To the charge, you failed to pay fines and costs as ordered, which essentially amounts to the restitution of $2,000. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Did you fail to do that?
Failed to pay it, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying. I mean,
Have you failed to pay?
I think I made a $6 payment with some bottles and cans I was able to collect. So it's not like I'm not trying to disrespect the court or disobey your orders. If I had the money, Your
Nobody
Honor, I would
went.
pay it.
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Please accept it to those charges. So remind me, is she on disability?
Yes. She takes in $937 a month, Your Honor, and last month, her bills totaled $1,023.
So what, you give me some suggestions here as to what I'm supposed to do.
I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Somebody's out
Judge.
$2,000 as a result of this conviction, which was a larceny charge.
Judge, she thinks that she can ask her father, she pays her father $100 a month for the
I know,
car insurance. She's gonna ask him if she can keep $50 a month of that. to
That's
pay the
not
court.
enough. I mean, she's gonna have to figure something out. I think I've made myself clear on this. Either that or I can just have her start doing all kinds of community service. And, you know, that's gonna be a lot of community service. She'll be doing 8 hours of community service a day for weeks. Look, I sentenced her back in August. How much is she paid toward the restitution?
About the $6.
$6.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what to tell you. I can't answer everybody's problems.
Your Honor, if I could work, I would work. I would give anything to be able to go back to work.
I understand, but is there nothing you can do that's,
I have tried to, you see things to work at home. I have tried for that stuff, but I don't have computer skills or anything. I barely operate.
I don't
a
want to
phone.
get into your medical too much. What's the nature of your disability?
I had.
I don't want you to get deep into it. Just
It's
tell me.
physical, Judge. Back,
All right.
degenerative discs.
I had back surgery in 2007.
She can't sit or stand for long periods of time.
You haven't had surgery since '07?
I go, I see a pain doctor every couple of months.
When's the last time you saw an orthopedic or a neurologist?
That would be Dr. Kurz. I'm not sure, Your Honor. I would have to check.
See, here's my dilemma. It isn't fair for me to dismiss this larceny charge unless the gentleman whose money was stolen or whose property was stolen to the tune of $2,000 is reimbursed. I mean, I want to look for ways out of this.
Your Honor, if I had the money, I would pay it.
I get it, but
if I could return the trailer, I would, but I don't know the men who took the trailer. I really don't. They told me they had permission to take the trailer. I understand that's all over and done with, but
all right. What else, Miss Murphy?
I really don't know what to say, Judge. She just has zero disposable income. And she's.
How old are you again?
51.
She's already done some community service to work off court costs and fines.
I did that. I know I did that because I wanted to help her out, but I can't do anything about the restitution. I mean, it's not fair for me to just waive it either.
I don't know if you can extend her probation and.
Well, I can't extend it past 12 months on the 771. And honestly, I'd have to extend it for 28 years if we're gonna pay at the rate of $6 every 6 months. Right? I mean, I'm just being honest.
But that
with
was, I went and collected some bottles and cans from family and friends and,
Listen, I'm not beating you up.
I understand, Your Honor. I'm just trying to explain.
I get it. I'm not,
I mean, Judge, I suppose you could revoke the 771 and
well,
send it to civil.
I want you to go in. No, I'm not gonna do that. That's not right. It's gonna get worse than that. I mean, I'm gonna have you go figure out something. I told you that last time. And now you're telling me, well, she's gonna talk to her dad. She should have done that in August, in September. This is March.
Well, I have tried to talk to my dad. He has limited income himself as well. And he already does, like, I wouldn't have a vehicle if it wasn't for my dad. The vehicle
Let
I'm
me ask
driving
you a
is my
question.
dad's.
All right, look. I'm adjourning the sentence. I'm accepting the plea. I want you to get the victim to zoom in here. We're gonna have a sentence real quick, Lisa. And maybe I'm just gonna have her do all this community service, but I need to talk to the victim, so let's do that. We're gonna get a hold of the victim. And I'll see if I can figure out. In the meantime, you gotta try to come up with something, man.
Yes, Your Honor.
Give me a date, Lisa, please.
April 5th at 9:30.
Okay. So that's what I'll do, April 5th at 9:30. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I mean,
Thank you.
I understand more than you think. But understand the predicament I am.
I understand, Your
And
Honor.
as there was a larceny committed and somebody's out $2,000. You wouldn't like to be out 2,000, your lawyer wouldn't, I wouldn't, nobody in here would.
It's just, it's a lot of money for me right now, Your Honor, that's all.
All right,
Not
I
trying to be
understand.
disrespectful to you or your courtroom.
It's not my courtroom. I don't see anybody We don't see a deed on the wall here. Nobody's
Wow.
deeded the property over to me. You don't ever say that. Good luck. We'll work it out. Just do the best you can. Do the best you can. Go down the hall. We'll see you back here, okay? Have a good day. I didn't think you were being disrespectful to me or anybody else. Nicholas James Brown, 22B1404441A.
Kathy Murphy for Mr. Brown, Your Honor. Mr. Brown is present.
I'm gonna need Emily on this one. Mr. Brown, your name?
Nicholas Brown.
So your client was in here. And I don't know what to tell him, but he had violations. He was initially placed on probation after a plea that took place. And that was on August 3rd. I already be incarcerated for 6 days. I'm talking about as a result of the probation violation hearing. And that probation violation hearing took place on March the 6th, at which point I said, pay by May 1, attend IOP and complete in person, incarceration for 6 days, test weekly for 3 months, then bi-weekly, be on a sober link within 24 hours of release from jail for 75 days. And then I've got a probation violation that alleges he failed to obtain a sober link device. So how's he going to proceed? Is he going to plead guilty or?
Yes, he's going to plead guilty.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
I need another plead guilty here. Your probation could be revoked. You could be incarcerated for 93 days. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign, read, and understand the advice of rights?
Yes.
If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights and there will not be a hearing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
To the charge that you failed to obtain a sober link device from house arrest by March 10, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Did you fail to obtain a sober link device by that day?
Yes, sir.
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Please accept it. Your name?
Emily Testino.
Why hasn't he done that?
Judge, go ahead, Emily.
He reported to me that it was because of money.
Does
So
he
I-
work? Remind me, you working?
I just got to work at the beginning of this week.
Where?
I'm doing demos for, I forget what his company name is, but for a guy named Steve. He's
A guy named Steve? What does that mean? A guy named Steve?
Yeah.
What does that mean? What's the name of the company?
It's Sky Homes, I believe.
You don't know?
No.
You don't know who you work for?
It's.
Who do you work for, Mr. Tessino? Come on, Mr. Brown. Come
Is he a
on.
friend of yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know his last name?
Toth.
Steve Toth.
Yes.
Out of where? Where does he work?
Locally.
Come on, do I look like a dentist?
No.
Do you really want me to pull teeth here?
No, sir.
Locally? What does that mean? Down the street?
In the area, Taylor, Woodhaven.
Look at me,
Browntown.
Mr. Brown.
I know.
Do I look like? You're not gonna treat me like a pre-kindergartner here, are you?
No, sir.
Tell me the name of the company. Tell me your friend's name. Tell me where he's based out of. Tell me where you work. Tell me how much you do. Tell me what you do. Let's not take for the next 45 minutes for you to go through all of this.
Sky Homes.
Look at me. Sky Homes.
Sky Homes LLC. He's a property buyer, renovator,
Name?
seller.
Name? Full name?
Stephen Toth.
How much you make?
I make $25.
How many hours do you work?
Under 40.
What do you do?
Demolition.
When did you start?
A couple days ago.
When did you last work before that?
Yesterday.
Before that, before the couple days ago that you started?
My last job was at Williams Family Construction a few months ago.
What's a few months ago? I love this
beginning-
nebulous. Pardon?
Beginning of the new year.
Beginning of the new year, January?
Yeah.
Till what?
From 3 years I was employed.
You lost his job when you went to inpatient.
Okay, and then he didn't get through inpatient because he didn't comply with the rules.
He got through inpatient, he was removed
Right.
from transitional
Right,
housing.
because he didn't comply with the rules, because he fell asleep, right?
Correct.
I remember. You're telling me, I just want to be clear before we go on, before I ask questions of you. You're telling me you don't have $100 to get a SoberLink device?
I have it today, yes, sir, yes.
Mr. Brown? I told you to get it last time.
I didn't have the money when I got released, sir.
I don't know how you can when you don't work. I don't understand this. I'm not gonna understand it. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. There's all kinds of work out there. There's all kinds of work out there. I mean, there are all kinds of jobs. And they're paying good because there's not enough help anymore. You know why? Because nobody wants to work. What a great country we've become.
Yeah, it's a shame, honestly.
We can stay home and collect unemployment and do all these other things and we don't have to work. I don't get it. Were you collecting unemployment, Mr. Brown?
So, overtime, sir.
Were you collecting unemployment, Mr. Brown?
No, sir.
You weren't collecting unemployment?
No, I've never collected unemployment.
Who do you live with?
Live with my grandmother, my mom.
How much rent you pay?
She's wanting me to get my life together. So
How much you rent you paying?
I'm not paying anything.
Good. Your mom is paying for, how old are you again?
28 years old.
Your mom's paying for your rent and your grandma's paying for your rent.
Yeah, sure. Child support I'm trying to keep up on.
Child support, well, you can't keep up on child support, you don't work, right? We know that.
I fully understand.
And I hate when people say that about child support. We all pay child support, right?
Yes, sir.
I had 3 kids. I wasn't divorced. I'm still married. They're grown, but I paid child support, just indirectly or more directly than you are, I guess. I don't know. You can figure that one out. But I know this, you can't eat if you don't work and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You got until the end of the day to get the SoberLink. If you don't get the SoberLink by the end of today, and I'm telling you, the end of today, when you come back for sentencing, whenever Ms. Murphy is here next time, or Lisa, I want her next date, you will go to jail for the maximum. So if you don't want to do a SoberLink, it's okay. It's all right. You can just tell me now, Judge, just revoke my probation. You can go today and you can take the easy way out. We'll give you food and lodging in there. Is that what you want?
No, sir.
Come on.
I really don't.
Where'd you go? The 6 days I gave you.
Flat Rock.
Easy. Easy. Country club. Might not be Augusta National, but it's a country club. It's a country club.
Sure, it's better than the county.
Dickerson County. I could name a whole bunch of them. Next place you go, if I give you this kind of time, you're not going to be going to the country club.
I understand, sir.
Why are you doing this? I don't want to listen to this.
Disappointed in myself.
Well, it's time to become undisappointed in yourself. And the only way you're going to do that is if you get out and work. Sentence date, Lisa, was when?
April 5th, 9:30.
We don't have an earlier date with her then, huh?
Judge, I'm here as overflow next week if you want me.
Can we do that or not?
That's up to you. You're going to take away from the overflow.
Well, then. Here's what I want you to do. You're going to provide proof to her. I'm going to make this April 5th at 9:30. But you're going to provide proof to her that you have the SoberLink device. That's a condition of your bond right now, that you go out and you get the SoberLink device today. You understand?
Yes, sir. I do only have $130. Just
how much does he have to pay?
I think it's like 115, which I did call and make a special.
Do we have one here?
I have 2.
But you're there for sobriety court.
Yeah.
Get out there today and get your SoberLink device. If you don't, I'm telling you, I'm giving you 93 days. Do we understand one another?
Yes, Your Honor. Is there a closer facility that I can obtain it?
But I don't know that you couldn't have borrowed the money. Here's the funny thing, just so we know one another here. If I'd have told you I was going to give you $1 million if you had come up with $115 on the date that I told you the SoberLink device, do you think you could have done it?
It's a long walk.
What's a long walk?
Having to go get the SoberLink, that's, I'm not trying to.
Mr. Brown, you don't have a choice.
I understand. All right.
I didn't ask you whether it was a long walk or a long drive or whatever else. I asked you, you told me it's because you didn't have the money. That's what you told me. Didn't you not tell me that?
Yes, sir.
You didn't say anything about the ride, did you?
No.
You said it because you didn't have the money, right?
Yes.
And if I told you I'd give you $1 million if you come here with $115 on the date you were supposed to get a SoberLink device, you think you could have come up with it?
No.
Okay. Well, then let's make our lives easy. Why don't I just send you back to jail right now? Because I don't think you tried. I don't think you tried at all. The reason I know you could come up with that is I'm telling you, you can go wherever you want to get some pop cans, whatever you need to do to come up with $115. If your mother and your grandmother are allowing you to stay there, they could easily come up with $115 to loan you.
So Judge.
Hang on. I think you're playing games.
Judge, I'm gonna drive him to the SoberLink
He just
place.
told me.
He's got the money. I'm gonna drive him.
He just told me he was making almost $25 an hour.
And he just started the other day.
I know. But they're paying you by the day, aren't they?
Yes.
So you're getting $200 a day, right?
No. I've been working full 10-hour days, sir.
Well, that isn't 10. That would be 8.
8 hours.
8
yes.
times 25 is 200. 8 times. Get there today, Mr. Brown.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge. We have the money, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Copy of your referral, or do you know where you're going?
Yeah. No, I think I have it.
I don't have it. Please. Who's that, John? I'm talking.
Oh, okay, I'll meet you at the window.
Principal's office.